You're listening to Darkcity Radio Live. Tune in at www.darkcityradio.com. You can find us by searching Darkcity Radio on Facebook or Twitter.
Activating meridians. Alignment. Instability in field. Negative. Charge aligning matrix field. Positive. Coordinates reached, Commander.
Activate the Sade field.
Activations of multidimensional engines.
Launch communications probe.
Power levels to maximum.
Activate all dimensional levels of communication.
Communication established.
The voice you hear is known as Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. This is the last slave planet in the galaxy. Under all agreement, under all rights, under galactic law, we now proclaim this planet free. The descension of the true human consciousness has begun.
Energizing Shambhala diamonds.
The men, women, and children of this planet are now set free.
Grid fields activated.
You have already reached
Activate Shambhala diamond.
critical mass.
Integration onto microcosm. Expanding linear space.
Prepare for landing.
Free space activation. Landing. Caution. All crew members to station. This is the Starship Bob. We are landing.
Right, hello, good evening, it's me, that annoying bloke from the north they call Bob, Paul Hayden, to those that know me on Facebook, and Bob of Bob's Backyard to those that know me through Aquaponics, and Dr. Green for those people who know me in the fraternity of hemp and hashish and so forth. So, what we're going to do tonight, this is a Dark City show. It's actually a Dark City special. That means this is very special for very special people. Thanks to all the listeners, all the people tuned in at the moment. I appreciate you lot out there, because otherwise we're just a group of people having a chat in Skype. Or we were, because I can reveal to you tonight, Dark City Radio is now totally open source. Oh yes, we are still using the tools of the devil, yes. I do not dispute this. But we now have a Mumble server. Okay? A Mumble server. That's right. And what is Mumble? Well, Dan explains it on a video. Mumble is it's free. That's what it is. It's open source communication across the internet. That means it's not corporately controlled or anything like that. Okay? Now, can people track it? And about the same as Skype. It's about as safe as Skype. Are you with me? So that's about the same. Yeah, it's probably a little bit better actually. I'm just trying to be as fair. However, it is not corporately controlled. The difference being is, for many people who've used Skype for many years, that it has now been bought out. Okay, like many other things. Many other things in our precious little world, because that is really, well, it's precious to me anyway. so many things have been bought out. You know, they start off really good, and then before you know it, it's, you know, the corporations, the corporate bodies, the deals are done, and it turns into something it's not. So yeah, again, it's happened. It's happened with Sky. You know, at first I didn't realise it. I didn't realise what free meant. A lot for me on Darkcity Radio, my personal journey here is, what is free? Well, we're free speech, and our free speech is now on through the Mumble server. Now, for the people that are in our amazing IRC chat room, which is provided us by AnonNet. Let me find it. Where are you? You're over here on this right-hand screen. Here's the link if you lot are in there, because I know you all can do that. You should be able to do that. Anyway, that's a link to the video. And if you are on the Mumble server, then please join us. That'd be really cool. Oh, I can see Liederman. See, Liederman's just joined the Mumble server, which is really cool. Now, what I'm going to attempt to do... You ready? You ready? This is where we might all go off air. Well, I've got too many windows. I've moved that. I've got to be able to see that one. That one's in the way. Oh, right. What I'm going to attempt to do now is I'm going to attempt for the first time in human history, I'm going to launch our Mumble account. See? Is it going to work? Oh, no. Sudama, come on. Come on, Sudama. Where are you? You have to call that in. You're hosting the call, man. This is teamwork, brother. Teamwork. That's it. No, he's got it. Right, now, we should, if Liederman is in the Mumble room, and if he actually speaks, please.
Do it again, Paul.
Oh. Well, now, anyway, never mind. Technical issues there. Oh, no, hang on a minute. It's there. We have been joined by Mumble. We have been joined by Mumble. Now, I'm not going to attempt to actually talk on Mumble at the same time. Oh, maybe I could. And we could have a little bit of a test there. But it should actually work. If Lee, because I've just seen Lee, and he's totally, if Lee's actually listening, can you say something on Mumble, Lee? I mean, you're the only one who's not muted on the server. We should be able to hear you. Oh no, we won't be able to hear you. I am lying. We will now. Oh, no, that's me. That's me. Why can't I hear myself? Well, that shouldn't be working. But never mind, it is. So there you
need
go.
to unmute Bob on Mumble.
No, it wasn't. That was just a feedback coming back from me. It's not coming through Mumble. If I do unmute Bob on Mumble, really? I don't think Bob isn't muted on Mumble, is he?
Yes.
Bob. All right. Okay then. Right now, Liederman, if you're there, Lee, you should be able to talk to us live on air through Mumble. I hope he's there. We haven't actually. Oh, go on, Lee, do some more. Oh, I saw him. I did see. Oh, that's not actually working. Oh well, it didn't work this time. We'll fix it though. I was going to do it for the first time live on air there, you see. Now that teaches us, doesn't it? That teaches. I can see you talking, Lee, but it's not actually working, unfortunately. It's not actually patched through to the Sky. But hey, we're very close. We are very close to get this to actually work. Oh, that was a bit of a disappointment, wasn't it? I thought Lee's voice was going to mysteriously break over from the server, and I can't think for the life of me why it isn't. She'll be able to hear that now. Anyway, never mind. We'll sort it again. We will get that working. Anyway, the Mumble chat does work. You can join us in Mumble chat, and that is actually saying Mumble is connected in and the hardware is all working. So maybe I just need to shut down that server and perhaps restart it. Maybe. I don't know. We will sort it out. Now, did we break anything in the process? Now, I can still see Lee talking, but yeah, I wonder if he's got his audio working. Let me try this. Hopefully, this is in the name of science, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and dears. I can't hear Lee, so do my say. I'm unmuted now, so I should be able to press my button here on the other one and be able to come through on to Bob, and I'm not getting Bob there, you see. I'm not getting me coming through on the other server, so that is definitely... Oh, no, that's because I'm muted. Oh, you see, this is... Oh! Now, is that Cypher? Oh, no, that's not working. I thought she was coming through on the Mumble server. Ah, well, it's not working, unfortunately. Oh, and that's not Cypher. I read that long... Oh, never mind. I will get it right. My apologies, everybody in concern. I'm going to stop testing it live on air now. Because it obviously isn't working. Right. Where am I? I'm over here. So, yeah, we have got the Mumble. It is working. Trust me, I've been in there. We've been using it. Now, the Mumble is very much like the IRC chat that we had in... you know, the chat room we use now, the Bob's Backyard one. Okay? Very, very similar how it works. Dan has put up a video on YouTube, so you can go and have a look at that. It's really easy to do. Jabber did it today, he followed the YouTube video, and he got it sorted. So, yeah, it is easy to do. And this, whether you know it or not, is going to be the future. The Mumble... the audio quality is far superior. We're getting much better quality audio. At first, we had kind of the opposite reports of this, but that was down to us, how we set it up and what we did. Yeah, it is. Of course, it's new. It's new. But you've got your text, you've got your voice, you've got what you want. Okay, it hasn't got video as yet. There is no video, Mumble video. At least I don't think there is. As far as I know, it hasn't. I could be wrong, no. It's brand new to me as well. But what this does is, this now finishes it. We are now 100% open source on the servers. Now, this doesn't mean we're not going to be dealing people with Skype. Of course, many people haven't got that yet. We don't want to close the door on them. Of course, we want to keep this open to as many people as possible. But we don't want to support the corporations, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly. Okay, sometimes, like we are doing, and I get that, we've joked about sucking Satan's cock for long enough. We really have, about using YouTube and Facebook and stuff. These are, how I see it, is if we took 10% of the man hours we're using, we can solve world issues really easily, really easily. There's a lot of fakes going on. There's a lot of these, what do they call them, provocateurs that go into and try and break it up, and they try and spoil things, and there's a lot of it going on, and it just seems to be a lot of it. And I was talking to a real deal lady today, and excuse me, I can't pronounce your name right, so I'm not going to do it again, but you know who you are. And we had a great conversation about dramas, you know, and how these can make or break things in certain ways. And I've always looked at dramas as quite, I suppose, a negative until after that conversation. And then I actually got that in most occasions, you better just let them get on with it. Just let them get on with it. They'll be all right. So, yeah. Yeah, a little bit of a rabbit hole. But I'm just kind of getting you into, I've only just started to use Mumble. I've bumped into somebody in there, and we've had a couple of days, and I'm already learning stuff. It's broadening my experience. And that can never be a bad thing, I don't think, broadening the experience. Again, kind of throw that bit of a guideline in there, and of course, it's not a law. It isn't a law. Perhaps it should be law. No loss, no harm. No deception, no breach of the peace, and making that common to all, including yourself. I think we're on to something here. And good news, you know, it's good news. We've got some good people gathered around from all around the world. America now, we're getting a couple of people who are starting to take notice from the United States, and I get that. There's a lot of tension. I do respect that. Most people from the United States of America can't get past the 1700s. But, you know, before we were all psyopsed into blowing the shit out of one another, we were quite good friends, you know. In fact, most of us are ancestors. You know, hello there, America. You know, there's a damn good chance that somewhere back in our gene pool that, you know, we are related. I saw France tune in the other day and stay, you know, and I tell you what, the guy, I know who that is there, I know who that is, and best of wishes to you, mate. Speedy recovery to you, and I truly hope that you get whatever, you know, is needed at your time, you know, speedy recovery. So yeah, what else can I throw in this little rabbit hole for the crew to chew upon this evening? Ashton allotment action. Well, you know, we've got Mumble, we've got communication over the internet, which is free, open source. This is a step, yeah. I know for some of you, it's going to be a bit nervous. You're going to be a bit scared. You've got used to using Skype, and all your friends are on it, and you don't know anybody. You're not going to know anybody on the Mumble server. Let me tell you something. How many people are currently using Mumble? On our server, right, it's not our server, but, you know, in our room on Mumble, right, well, no, on all of it, there's about a dozen people, right, so get in there, it's brand new, you've got another chance, we're giving you a major shot here, get in there, become part of that original setup team. People who are listening in IRC, you know, you've still got your IRC chat, it's still running up the side of it, it's really cool, you know, really cool. Yeah, why not? It's free. Well, we've got to support these things. IRC, they've done this, these people have put it together. They've put it together, free of charge, they did it, open source, people work it together in a community. Ashton allotment action. People a little bit nervous, things coming together, we all got together and we did it. We did it, we all met up, we shared food, we played music, it was great fun. They even sung Kumbaya, you know, they did actually sing Kumbaya, it was quite funny. And there was a conspiracy. There was a conspiracy to enrage the Bob into with the tunes of Kumbaya and hippie circles. So yeah, great fun. We had great fun. I got to meet up with a couple of members of the crew I'd never met up with before. A real giant amongst men's. Our Chris Sparky. I don't know. We wouldn't have done it all without him. You know, just his sheer might in carrying abilities alone was absolutely brilliant. So yeah. And things get better, you know, they get better each time. Just like our Mumble experiment. You know, we'll get back to it. We'll do it again. It's there. The Mumble bit works. We know our bit works. All we got to do is get that little bit to talk to that little bit. Or maybe they've changed it and conspired against us. Nah, I think I've just pressed the wrong button or not got it quite right. So yeah, it's dead similar. That's what I'm getting at here. What's happening on that world of the internet, and what's happening in our own little world, and what happens in our little community world of Darkcity Radio, they are reflections. You know. We speak a lot about the Allotment Association, and Nerys is with us now, and the knowledge Nerys give us, you know, it's amazing, you know, how you can find out stuff. You know, I've kind of been in gardening for a while, and just like, oh, that, you can eat that, you know. Really? Can you? You can do something with that? Can you really do something with that? Yeah. And it's like, it's an adventure. It really is an adventure. And if you can kindle that up in your spirit, as Sarah was saying, you know, get positive with it. Do it. Don't do it for reasons. Don't make the ties to it. Just, you know, be free with it. I don't think there's a lot we can't achieve. I really don't think there's a lot we can't achieve. With that positive focus of energy, there's not a lot. Brings me a little bit to Rick Simpson show. Something I'm really dedicated to, mate. You know, I have a personal connection to it, and we're going to keep that going every Wednesday. Now, look, we've had a hell of a lot of people telling us they want to support Rick Simpson and the cause, and we do get now that Rick Simpson is now saturated on the internet. We've achieved that aim. So I want everybody here at Darkcity Radio to pat yourselves on the back. If you type him in what is it? Oh, if Chris is there, man, you could jump in here for us, bro. But on Google Info or something, or whatever it's called, so not something I've used. But if you want to have a look at it now, you can only get up to 100%, and that's where
it's Google Trends, Bob. Google Trends.
Google Trends. Thanks, Chris. Yet again, bailing me out. Google Trends. He is now, well, it's saturated. What I call saturated. You can't get any better. You know, we can't push Rick Simpson anymore on the internet now. We've pushed him that hard. So yeah, we're also with Lee. You see, although Rick's not with us, and a lot of the people who said they're going to support us have not turned up. That's the truth of it. That's the truth of it. Our real people out there, they haven't turned up. Now some have. Don't get me wrong, some have. Right. Well, with or without, and we said it all along. With or without, we're going to carry on pushing, and that Wednesday will become Hemp Wednesday. That's kind of like my side of it. I'd like to try and step back a little bit from the rest and focus on that Wednesday. I really would. I can see that this ideology of getting a place to put Rick and getting that going in somewhere where the guy's not going to be persecuted, and Rick's right on with me with this. He really is. This is not something I need to go and debate with Rick or questioning about it. That's it. You know, to get there and to be able to start the process is a brilliant idea. Why we're not doing it and why we haven't got it together, I don't know. I really don't know. It will actually be able to fund itself. It really will. So yeah, well, again, you get these things in your head, and maybe we're not thinking big enough. Maybe that's it. Maybe the universe is saying, what are you talking about, Dark City crew? What are you not talking about, Dark City listeners? You're not thinking big enough. You're not thinking big enough. Now, maybe we should be looking at purchasing some land. Maybe we should be looking at integrating, as we've said before, you know. And again, we throw these ideas around, but are we prepared to be able to grab land, you know, purchase land, seize it, however it works in your area, and start to build thermal mass material buildings? And the reason why I keep touching about thermal mass, right, is you might as well, because it's there, so let's use it. You know, stabilise the heating, so you're not paying a fortune out for your fuel costs, whether to keep you cool or whether to keep you warm. It's a really sensible way of doing it. Hey Barry, are you back? Or you just fell off your power?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just listening to you talk. But yeah, no, the Rick Simpson show, you know, you don't have to worry about me showing up for Rick Simpson's show, because I'll be there for the rest of my life, man. One of the
Lee, and Chris and stuff. But people got a bit confused with it and stuff like that, Barry, and you know, we forgive them, don't we, mate? That's what it's all about.
We forgive them. Yeah, if they don't want to come on the best show in the world, well, that's up to them, eh?
No.
No, I shouldn't say that. No, but you know what I'm saying? We try. We're here, and lots of people say they're going to come. But I do have a guest coming tomorrow, Bob, and he's confirmed. He's really behind the Sensible movement here in British Columbia. Sensible. We have an agenda coming up and a referendum coming up in September, and he's one of the head guys in it. And he's going to come on Skype tomorrow and have a talk on our show for a few minutes and tell him what we're doing with Sensible BC right now. So that'll be kind of interesting. He's a very interesting guy. His name's Zach. So that's for tomorrow.
Well, brilliant. Yeah. See, that's what we want to do, man. That's what I'm saying. We're not going to stop doing the Rick show, right? We're going to keep it. I think it's been dubbed the Not So Rick Simpson show now. But because Rick's not actually, it's not scheduled, but he will be coming on and off the shows, you know, at random. And I prefer it like. I really do prefer it like. It frees up time for Rick. He's not tied down, and we do know that he's not bloody getting his rest. So if you're out there, Mr. Rick Simpson, and you're listening to me, I'm telling you, we'll send the girls over. We'll send them all over to sort you out, Rick. Don't. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm telling you. The boys won't be coming. It'll be the women. All right? It's the only way you can rein in great men, Barry. You know, it's the only way you can rein in great men. You need a pack of women to sort them out. That's the strategy.
Well, I was just going to tell you, Bob, or Paul, we sent Rick a picture today of 4 naked women holding up a sign saying cannabis is cured, or cancer is cured by cannabis. And I sent Rick a little note saying that these are as well to be committee in British Columbia. So I was way ahead of you on that, buddy. Miss Hazel sent me the picture for Rick anyway. It was kind of comical that you were talking about that. But yeah, he's going to have an enjoyable time when he comes out here, and I'm not going to tell you about all the requests.
Brilliant
work. All the requests.
You know, I haven't mentioned it. Let me mention it now. You know, we haven't mentioned it live on air, but I'm going to do. Barry has been really instrumental in getting Rick down into British Columbia, and I mean, I know to us lot it's like all Canada, but this is huge. This is huge. You could just putting England in it over and over and over like a jigsaw. You really could. So he's been fundamental in that, and to getting that BC sorted out there. And then go on, Barry. I'll let you do it. What have you organised? What have you managed to these little strings pull together?
Yeah, let me. Okay.
Go on. Who's the other guy you're getting him up there with?
Well, what's happened here, buddy, honestly, is the fact that the mainstream media now has opened up to what's going on with Rick Simpson and the whole medical marijuana movement because of other people in the area here that have already started movements. And the fact that Rick is coming right now, his timing is unbelievably perfect for the referendums we got coming up. The requests I'm getting for him to speak, I'm not even going to get in today onto the air. I'm not going to overload the man, but I am getting requests now almost on a daily basis for him to speak in British Columbia here. People from even down in southern British Columbia heard that he's coming to British Columbia. His notoriety is very, very high. And, Rick's going to have a good time here. And really, I mean, he is surrounded, what he's explained to me over time in our conversations, that in Nova Scotia, he is surrounded by a lot of negative people as far as what he's trying to do. And, I can see maybe Rick relocating one day in the future to British Columbia because he would be surrounded by a ton of positive people, what he's trying to do. And, the gentleman is, like I said, I never grow tired of listening to him, and I'm dedicated to working as much as I can to support the cause over the course of my life, for the end of my life, because I've looked at all the possibilities of hemp and what it can be done. And we're not going to get into the hemp show today, but to say that I'm behind the man's 100%. We have all the local radio stations and TV now going to give him time on the air. We have the local TV station that wants to do a 1-hour podcast with him. All 3 local radio stations, including down the line to Smithers and Prince George, are going to allow me to talk to Rick for 20 to 15 to 20 minutes each, 2 weeks prior to Rick's arrival and his talking at the Armley Theater here. So we're creating a huge, huge interest in the community, gentlemen. A huge interest. And it's every day I'm getting positive feedback. So I talk to people, and now we're going to make the posters up. We might even get to the point here because of the positive feedback that we have to do another night at the Armley. The fact that Dean Clifford is going to be here at the same time, it's just going to be an incredible gathering of very, very cool people. And
so
this all got together here in the last couple of months.
Just so the listeners know, Barry, because you're bang on what you're saying, but just so they know, you just dropped that right in on the end there. What we've got is Dean Clifford and Rick Simpson meeting up in British Columbia. This is a go now, yeah?
This is a go.
There you go. Yeah, can you see that? I don't know if it's just me, Barry. I don't know if it's just me, mate, but that is right on, bro. That is right. That wouldn't have happened if it weren't for yourself, Barry. If you hadn't come along here and done all that, and I'm giving you a lot of praise here, man, because I reckon you deserve it. That is brilliant work. Whatever happens now, bro, you've put that on the ground, you've put it into position, you've done it, you've gone out there, you've brought your back over it. I've heard you, man. I've heard you, and that's exactly the example everyone should take. Look, not everybody's going to be able to rustle up Dean Clifford and... Hang on a minute, why not? We did on Darkcity Radio. We did. We did it. We managed to do it, and we're just a group of people, just like Barry. We're all the same. None of us are super special people. We are all amateurs. We're not professionals, because we love it. Amateur. For the love of. Unstoppable, Barry. Go on, bro.
Well, that's what drives us, man. Once you get involved in something and you really grab it by the balls, and you really feel that this is something that you really have to spend your time and energies doing, you do it. And at any cause at all, whether it be in talking to people in your community or organizing tea parties or forming cooperatives to grow vegetables and stuff that we're all looking into now and looking at ways that we can buck the system. Myself, I saw an opportunity here to get a gentleman out west. He's never been to British Columbia. He's just bubbling over about spending time here. If the gentleman wants to write a book while he's here, well, he's going to have the time to do it, and he's going to have the solitude. Like what Sarah was saying earlier in the show, meditation is very important. And for meditation, for me, is sitting on a riverbank and watching the river go by and caring about nothing. and watching the birds and watching everything go around you in the world and reflecting. And that to me is what Rick's going to, Rick's going to experience that because that's what he wants to do out here. He wants to write a book. So everything's kind of fallen in place. And like I said, I'm not going to try and overload the guy, but I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying I'm getting requests from very, very interesting people about Rick Simpson. The fact that I've listed his sites on the radio stations and underground and online newspapers all over British Columbia. I'm getting response from all over British Columbia. Miss Hazel listed his sites in Lower British Columbia, in Penticton and Kelowna. And I'm getting emails from these people. Just interesting stuff going on, guys. That's all I can say. And it's just a cool thing to do. It's just giving you a lot of good feelings about what you're doing in your life. And that's what I'm finding, guys.
Right on, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Good feelings. That's what I got from, although it was quite hard work, I went on my holiday, Barry, my summer holidays to camping, as people know, this weekend, and I had to return home every day. That's the kind of holiday I'm getting. That's the kind of holiday I'm getting this week. But it was brilliant to hear yourself and Dave from Personal Navigation. Absolutely wonderful. Great stuff. Getting together to go on this like boys' adventure up this river or down this river. It was great. It's just brilliant, man. People like that. Dave's worked solidly. He's brilliant, man. It really is.
Dave, I forgot to mention that Dave's coming. I forgot.
Yeah,
Dave
yeah.
Matthews is coming.
Yeah, well, I just,
to mention that.
It don't get much better, does it? Because
Well,
don't get me wrong. I've heard a lot of Dean. I haven't really spoke to Dean a lot myself. A lot of people think I have, and I haven't really, although he's been on the radio a couple of times. And I have hosted an entire show where we actually rang Dean on his mobile. That's the dedication. The guy's at work, and he does 2 hours on his mobile. Great guy, brilliant. And what he's saying about land and this cooperation, this cooperative type living. I can't remember how Dean actually says it, but I heard it. And when he said it, it was like, that's it. That's what we've been doing. We haven't been doing it with land. We've been doing it with our energy and our time and our internet access, bringing it together, working cooperatively. That we're already doing that.
Yep.
And then I was a bit perplexed when I went and saw his radio station, and he had signed up to one of the big corporate body radio stations, which biggest subscriber is the US military. I thought, I bet Dean doesn't know that yet. Do you know? That brings me to Dawn's guest, Barry, last week. A brilliant guy in my mind, a man. How I distinguish between a man and a boy, just my personal distinguish. A man's the one who can admit they've made a mistake and hold their hands up and go, hey, I messed up there, I was wrong. A boy will defend himself and attack from the position that they're at for no reason at all. They'll just carry on defending even though they're wrong. Also can be seen in adults and described as the Gladio effect, as I've rabbited on loads of times, which I'm not going to do this evening. Right. However, it can also be seen as quite an adolescent kind of behaviour. So that's how I look at it, as being a man, and that was Max and the chemtrail stuff. The guy went over, he saw it, and he put his video up, and people came up and they went to Max, no, Max, that's this and that's that and this is the other. And Max went, yeah, no, okay, fine. And then a lot of people at that said, ha 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 ha, there's no such thing. And then Max came back with an interview of people in the government actually telling them, no, there is such a thing. Yeah, right. Yeah. So, you see what I mean? But when we get it wrong, let's accept we've got it wrong, right? Because we are going to make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. Let's not now start tearing people apart and all that, right? Because they make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. Barry's made them, he told you. I've made oodles of mistakes. Oodles. It's how you get good at being right. So great shows. Great shows. We're getting some great shows. We get some great people. There's some more stuff coming up as well. I am getting contacted. The people out there, if you are listening and you've contacted me in the last 2 or 3 days, I'll get to you. The best thing you can do, if you do want to get a show, there's a lady, or I can't remember if it's a lady or a gentleman now, who's putting a book out. I've had a quick look at it. It looks brilliant. Yes. This is your radio. The answer is yes, okay? We might not agree with what you've got to say, all right? We might not We might not all jump in your boat and go sailing off to you, whatever it is you're doing, but the answer on Dark City Radio is yes. Yes, you can. Yeah? Let us know. We'll fit in a time. We'll find a slot. We'll get a producer. And away you go. That's it. If you want a regular show, then have a think about a little intro jingle and an outro. They only need to be 15 seconds or something. Dawn's got it again on Dawn's Diorama. It was just been done by Chris Sparky. He put it together. Just that little kooky thing. It's brilliant. I love it. The merry-go-round, you see. Brilliant stuff. Little jingle before and after your show. This helps greatly, you see. Comes as a little bit of advertisement. We can plug it in. And all these little pieces now slowly coming together. Little pieces. That's what makes Dark City what it is. That's what makes Ashton Allotment Action what it is. That's what's going to make the Rick Simpson seed bank in Spain. It's what's going to make it. It's going to make it with little bits of us all coming together. Now, some of them little bits are huge. Lee's with us. Lee does a huge amount of work here. You know? Some of us aren't brilliant with text. You know, Lee's one of them. He's all right. He's not as bad as me. He's tons better than me. You know, I can't even write my shopping list at some mornings. He's gone out and done it. He's gone out and done it and put a draft together and started it off. And he's gone out and done it. And that's exactly it. Get it, have a go at it. Yeah, come on, let's do it. Let's have a go. All right, you might mess up. You might need a bit of support. But don't tell us you're going to do it and then not. You know, don't tell us you're going to do it. And don't go wasting everybody else's time. That's all we ask of. You're going to do it, let's do it. If you're not going to do it, fuck off. I'm going to start using that as my catchphrase. So yeah, we have got people catching us. Barry's kind of the same. I'd have a word of warning, Barry, there. There's a lot of them are just trying to pump their numbers using Rick's name. Right? A hell of a lot of them will just try and pump their own numbers. And I know you haven't got the manpower as we had in the early days. Hey, Barry's parrot agrees. You see? Barry's parrot agrees. We have confirmation from the parrot, Barry, and it's watching your back. That parrot's watching your back, Barry. You know what's your score, man. Get it on the tank. But be aware of it, mate. Push it out. But remember, Rick has now reached saturation on the internet, Barry. So what's actually happened now is, bro, yeah, they're using Rick to promote their stations. That's what they're doing. That's the difference with us here on Dark City. That's why Rick came to us. He'll return to us. That's why he made Dark City his own. Because we're not into promoting Dark City. We don't need to promote Dark City. And it's only come to me this recently. We don't need to. We've proven that if we work together as a group, we can push anyone to the top of the internet. Anyone. Well, I don't say anyone. No, I'm going to change that. I'm going to change what, again, that little lady from AnonNet told me today. I don't know if she's a little lady at all. I don't get me on, but she give me a bit of wisdom. Just give me a bit of wisdom. If people are into it, then they'll support it. How simple is that? How simple is that? God, simplicity in itself, you know. And that's it. Some people aren't into stuff. Some of the stuff we talk about here is a blinding flash of light to some of them. That's right. They're not used to people being straight and frank and honest. They're used to appeasement of emotion and people saying things to keep them happy and to keep them sweet. Not here. Not with me anyway. Please, don't come to me. I'm not speaking for the crew here, but not for me. Because I'm a brutal son of a bitch. I'll tell you, I'm a brutal son of a bitch. I don't mean to be offensive. I don't mean to hurt anybody. My intention is never to offend. I have been offended and felt its effect. I do not wish that upon anyone. I really do not. However, I ain't gonna tell you some bullshit just to keep you happy. That ain't gonna happen either. You know, and I'll tell you something else as well. I won't come up to you later and go, oh, well, I know, I did know. I was telling Betty that you shouldn't have been doing that, you know. That'll never happen with me. I'll take the chance. I'll say to you, look, I think you're being a bit of a dick. Have a look at it. You know, have a look at it again. Just have a look at it, right? I'll take the risk of offending you. You know, I don't mean to offend you, but I'll take the risk of offending you rather than see you smash your face in on the floor. I really will. If you want to smash your faces in on the floor, that's fine. You know? And I think that's important. Let's move into things we can do something about. Alright? Things we can do something about. Rather than focusing all our energies on things that are never going to make any difference. Anytime, anywhere. You know? Let's do something we can. That's how I reckon we should be looking. How I need, me, personally. You know? What I've been through. My life's journey. You know? My message. You know? My thing. Personal shit. You know? Where I need to get through to. You know? What I need to be saying. Where I need to be going. That's what I feel for me. We've got to stop focusing on shit we can't do anything about. Now, what I'm saying, it sounds so simple. Is there only me who's just realised this? Am I the only crackhead in the world? Is that it? Am I the last one who gets it? Is it just me? Well, I look around me and it doesn't appear to be that way. Well, it really doesn't. So yeah, I hope I've kind of hit everybody today. There's been a lot of people who've done a lot of stuff, and I know there's other people coming. There's people who aren't as up front. I'll call them Anons, just because of a conversation I had earlier today. I'll call them Anons, Anonymouses. Although they are known to me, they may not be known to you. And they are good, honest, truthful people. They're not the enemy. I'm not talking about a gang of kids who go around bullying people on the internet. No, I'm not. Good, honest people, just like the rest of us, trying to make this world a nice place, a better place. I recognise the perfection that it truly is. I suppose that's a more correct way of putting it. You know, from the dumb northerner. From the dumb northerner. So get it in your heads. Get it in your heads for us, brothers and sisters, if that's all right to call you all that. If it is, just get it in your heads. Darkcity doesn't need to be supported. Nor does it need to be bought. Nor can it be sold. Because Darkcity is free. I might not be free. I have the burdens of the property and like the same as the rest of you, paying me bills and you know, all that kind of stuff we have in our day-to-day lives. The city doesn't. It doesn't. It's not mythical. It's not some fantasable place that we've dreamt up to where we get a drum circle and we sing "Come By Our" and the world becomes better. It isn't. It isn't. It's a lot more powerful than that. Darkcity looks like it's where those unique individuals come together. They come together. And they work. For what reason? I'd like to say educate. But I don't think it is. I'm not quite sure what it is. I think that's the truth of it at the moment. I'm not quite sure. There's words that are kind of tickling around inside my head that are not ready to come to the forefront. It's like they're almost afraid to be spoken. So I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know where Darkcity is going. But I know the power of it. I know the power of it. Otherwise people wouldn't be ducking. They won't be covering. You know, that blinding flash of that information, it does take time for them to recover. It is powerful stuff. You know, Sarah spoke earlier about releasing energies and, you know, cutting these ties we've made where we've judged ourselves for putting ourselves into positions where we do know better. Now we do know better. We are not as ignorant as we were. We're not a bunch of peasants walking up a hill, shouting with pitchforks raised in the air at the authority for stealing our land. We're the ones that camp upon the land. We're the ones that planted the seed upon that land. We are the history that is yet to be written. That's who we are. That's who you are. Listeners, each individual, whether you're listening to on a recording, whether you're hearing this on the 25th of June, Whether you're hearing it now or you hear it later, it'll still apply. It'll still apply. We are the ones. Each and every one of you. I speak for myself. I include myself in this. I can't speak for you, of course. You being the ones who are not me. I love that play on words. Each one of us is playing a leading role in what others call your life. Your life. And that can be so fleeting. Make it as creative and as positive as you can from the positions you are now. Open your hearts to something different. Open your minds and your bodies and your souls, your spirits, whatever you want to call them. However much you've divided yourself, you know. Take your emotional body out of your bedside drawer. Take it to you. Take it to work with you today. Take it to work with you tomorrow. Excuse me. Unless you're doing nights. Unless you're somewhere else in our world. And perhaps then you're about to go to work. Who knows? It's a big planet. So you take your emotions with you. Don't let them rule you. But don't be divided from. Wear them on your collar. Wear them on your sleeve. Be proud. Whoever you are, whatever position you're in, don't let anybody ever tell you you're not important. No one. No one. Whether it's a friend or a colleague or an enemy, someone who feels they're in authority over you. Don't let them tell you you're not important, because you are important. You are vitally important. Every single one of you. You really are. It's made me proud, this radio. I was a pretty bust up guy, me. Pretty bust up and broken, I'll tell you. And you've made me proud. You really have. I'm proud of myself for what I've achieved. I am. Really am. Sometimes it's long and it's hard. And, you know, for the people who are, you know, it's hard to pay your rent and the fucking bailiff's on your door and the wolf's fucking trying to kick your fucking little bit of sanctuary down. Don't get angry. Don't get violent. Not at them. Not at them. Scream at the sky. Scream at the trees, the flowers. They won't get angry back at you. They won't. Get even. Get even. The feeling's beautiful. Let's not have a winner or a loser. Let's have even. Why not? Let's level the playing field. Let's level it. Because we are important, and whatever you call it, and you know, whatever angle you're coming from, you can't suddenly just decide part of it is no longer important and we're going to get rid of it. It's part of it. Whatever it is, if you don't get it, leave it alone. Deal with yourself. Deal with yourself. Sort your own shit out. You can. You can. But I've had a lot of this. I've heard a lot of it kicking around at the moment. This hierarchical positions and people who are in charge and people who are in control, and then more so and low, I hear it. I hear it, and I'll tell you what, it boils my blood. They're not important. Who? Who's not important? You're talking about a member of my family. I was born man. I don't know what you lot were born. You people, and I don't mean present company, I'm not shouting at you lot. But, you know, and there's people who go around and say people aren't important. I'll tell you. Anyone tells you you're not important, bring the shitheads here. We'll sort them. We'll level the playing field. We're not mighty great anything. We're normal, everyday people from diverse and different backgrounds and social positions. All the lot. We're here. We're melting together now. In a cauldron of creativity. Whew, where's it gonna go? I don't know. But think big. Think big. Think about making your dream a reality. And if you've got to go away to come back to make it real, do it. Do it. If you've got something that's pestering you and it's mithering you, don't judge them around you. Take yourself out of the situation. You can't see it. It's that simple. Often once you've seen what it is that's annoying you, what's niggling away at you, what's getting at you, once you've seen it, you can do something about it. That's why they use illusion and delusion, psyops, trick you with words and colours, fucking word casting magic. Darren, Jabba's show. Oh, and I'm so glad before we got to the end of the show that that man, another man, jumped into my mind. He has worked tirelessly. Tirelessly. Behind the scenes. Never hear a complaint. Always a gentlemanly request. What a beautiful soul. Dan McDonald, I don't want to miss any of you out, right? I don't want to miss any of you out. I really don't. I don't. And I can't read through the entire list, but you know who you are. Any single one of you. Every single one of you. In any way. Whether you clicked a button, whether you passed on a link, you're part of it. You're part of it. I don't know where we're going. I can't say where. I really, truly do not know. But I tell you what, we're not lining ourselves up with scum any longer. Because we don't need to. Just look what you're lining up with. Look what you're lining up with. Look what you're sailing with. And look where you're sailing to. We can do it. I've seen it. I saw it on the weekend. I saw it this weekend. When people come together. I saw it. I saw the personalities come to the forefront. I saw them. And I tell you what, some of it were a bit weird, I must admit. I'm like, wow, look at that. That's odd. There wasn't one angry, nasty, violent, vindictive one amongst them. They're all beautiful. Every one of them. They're all unique. They're all beautiful. I hear it on the radio. I don't always see it in the chat, but I'm sure it's there. I'm sure it's there. Thanks to all of you for making me proud and teaching me how to love again. It's really important. It really is. Even for this northern hard fucker, you know. It's important. To be able to love yourself for who you are. It's not a gift. It's a birthright. To have a house or a home. To feel at home wherever you are on this land or sea. It's not a right. It's a natural gift. It really is. To sing and dance to your heart's content. It's not a right. Well, only through your rites of passage of birth. You speak the word of it all. I've got somebody showing the bottom at me and mooning at me in text here, and it just sparked something in my head. I'm going to tell you this really quick. Even showing your ass at a police helicopter, if it makes you laugh, then do it. And at Greater Manchester Police, I will need a copy of the video recording of my own posterior. Yes, if you want me for a line-up, I'm quite willing to join in. And I've got another 12 area red-haired Scotsmen willing to line up with me. That would be the lineup identification parade of the year. Of course, because when I do arrive, I will admit that this is an altered state of my ego personality, known as the name Paul Hayden. and I am, of course, Bob, and I cannot be held responsible for that name. So I really mean it, folks. I really do mean it. Over these last few days, last few weeks, I've realised that it isn't about... well, I already knew that, but it's been confirmed to me. This isn't about possession. If we try to take control over it, it will take control over each and every one of us. If we try to hold it and make it ours, it is us that will be imprisoned by our own device. We cannot demand freedom from others until we recognise that we are slave. And I, for one, do not accept the collar and the chain of my master. I do not. In this realm, I accept my authority, and I seek only mastery over myself, so I could never be ruled by my emotions ever again. And I have been for so long. Well, what more I can say? We present the alternative. Fill your heart with love rather than fear. Not the love of another, but the love of yourself, or whatever endeavour you're in. And do something different. Of course, if you're happy and you're content with our world, and you think that God or the great sky fairy may change it for you, or everything is perfect and it is love and it is light, then this place is not for you. Because as my mate Chris said, this is where the rubber hits the road. This is where we get it done. And this is where history is going to be written from, not to. This is the beginning, not the end. We do not need to awaken, because we've never been asleep. It's your radio. If you want it, use it. You know the numbers. Ring it in. And thank you very much for tuning in.
This is a public health announcement. Cannabis cures cancer.
You're listening to Dark City Radio Live. Tune in at www.darkcityradio.com. You can find us by searching Dark City Radio on Facebook or Twitter.